but then I guess it's like a G9. I mean, I don't even know if that's correct. That's always how I played it.
Sounds exactly right
to my ears.
What seems difficult on guitar and what actually is difficult on guitar is in the ear of the beholder, but as guitar players we tend to know what actually impresses us versus, you know, what seems maybe just flashy. Sometimes something can look hard and it's not really that difficult. And why do people think that that's impressive?
I think when you do it really fast, it sounds like just a sheet of sound. It's just like a flurry of notes, you know?
That doesn't even sound like
cool.
a guitar, but it's not that difficult, right?
I don't think it's that difficult. I mean, I guess the hardest thing would be about it is sometimes taught students how to play it like beginning on the 7th fret or something. You know, just to kind of close the gap, because maybe when you're starting out that stretch is a little challenging, but as far as the actual like technique, like you have to do the hammer on, right? So it's not going to sound perfect, right? Like you might still have like fretting out a little bit or something here, but I feel like you can kind of eke out the idea. Like I remember learning this and I was still bending, you know, sharp on everything. So
speaking of that, bending actually is a lot more difficult than that tapping lick that Dre just showed us. Day one of playing guitar, your bending is going to sound like this.
It's always flat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always flat.
You can never really get it quite up to that pitch. And then when you do finally build up finger strength, you're going... Because you... See how good I am at that? I still remember.
It's like I learned to tap as like a party trick before I actually learned like how to make the guitar sound good, or at least like melodious. Bending is the guitar mimicking the human voice. Like singing blues, you could be a little flat, but never sharp. If you're sharp, it's just like heinous.
Yes.
But if it's a little bit flat, maybe there's some vibe there. You know what I mean? You know, but if you're... Absolutely not, right? You hear the difference of that? It's like, okay, like it's a little lazy, or like, oh my god, that's wrong.
Alternate picking thing that every guitar player who wants to play fast learns first.
But I feel like the first alternate picking lick that I actually learned was For Whom the Bell Tolls, which isn't fast.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of where we all start.
That's way more difficult, even though it's slower and more methodical.
It was like the hardest thing ever for a drummer is to just play like a straight beat in 4 with 8th notes on the hi-hat and just make it sound the same the whole time. Don't add any air, no open hi-hat hits, no fills. Yeah. And I think of like Edge of 17, because it's 5 minutes of straight 16th notes and it's single notes.
Apparently bar chords are for beginners, but I think they're pretty tough, especially when you're starting out. Like, just try an F-sharp bar chord. Bar chord with some open strings.
Well, now it's the 7-11.
Yes.
Always open.
7-11, always open.
Now, if you did want to make your bar chords more difficult and let people know that they're more difficult, you could extend a 9th.
Flashiest lick I know that's actually easy.
Actually easy.
We've
done a tapping thing.
Oh, it's definitely this. It's the It's definitely this.
And that works on other strings too?
Every string. This part of the hand gently rested over the string, and then you can pretty much play anything actually.
Now that's cool.
Yeah.
I haven't done the 3.
Get all harmonics.
So I think I initially learned that just doing the open hammer.
And it's definitely hard, but is it as hard as it looks and sounds is the question.
Seems like an interesting question that perhaps we could answer in the form of a tier list of guitar techniques that we do on your channel. Another really difficult thing is literally just, you know, playing guitar on a song and playing in time. Just for the whole song. Nothing fancy going. You know, you don't get appreciated for doing something like that, and you gotta blow people's faces apart. All you do is step on a switch and it turns you into...
Happy things to my neurodivergent brain. It's like
now turn on a regular
on fire right now.
A regular patch.
And like no hate on the edge, you know, but that's like
he found that.
He figured it out.
There were a lot of sounds out there in the world, and he found that one, and everyone was like, "That's a good one."
I mean, things don't have to be hard to be good. It's almost like open tunings. Like I did a whole series on like the math rock and like open like F add 9 tuning and like other open like double drop D and all these other tunings. And there's always trolls that are like, "Oh, it's cheating." You know, the tunings like that because you get like easier shapes or something. Like if you're using it as a tool to make, you know, to express yourself, then that really doesn't matter.
Can you do chick, chick, chick?
I'll do clean.
I actually just did a video on that.
You want to talk about hard, it's that. Deceptively hard.
Yeah, that's the thing about AC/DC.